Sammy Baugh, though 36 years old and with 15 seasons of full competition behind him, gives no signs of nearing the end of his amazing career.
Art Monk is now number one, the most prolific pass receiver in the National Football League's history. Touchdown, Washington Redskins.
This is Harry Hook Football, the original Redskins Fans podcast. On today's show, we talk about the debacle of a game between the Washington Redskins and the Dallas Cowboys. This and much more live with Aaron and John. Yo, 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 yo. What's up, John?
Joker! Woo!
Man, that was some drama you built there.
Excellent!
You know what? We went into that game and we took command because
we are the commanders.
Aha! What a great game. We totally, from start to finish, beat the crap out of the Cowboys for like 3 hours. It was awesome.
what a fantastic game.
Great game. Our kicker left 7 points on the field, and we still beat them by 20 points.
Oh, yeah, we'll talk about that.
Man.
We left at least 7 points on the field. It should have been like, oh my gosh, it should have been probably closer to 40 to 6.
Oh, it should have been 28-0 originally.
Yeah, I mean, what a game. What a game. It was like the no-name defense was like Dallas couldn't do anything. They couldn't run. The cornerbacks had tight coverage on everyone.
CeeDee Lamb came up with the touchdown. Turned Kendall Fuller around. Kendall Fuller also had a pick 6 in this game. Good game for him again.
Yeah, let's talk about that little sequence, dude.
the pick 6.
I'm watching this on my little phone because I had to go to the play, that even though I wasn't supposed to. And I'm watching this on my phone. I see Kendall Fuller almost pick it. And I'm like, dang it. And then I look up for a second and I look back down and think they're showing a replay. And then he pick sixes it, and I'm like confused, like, what?
Did they really? What happened?
What
happened?
What was Dallas doing? Like, Dak threw the exact same route on the exact same side of the field.
Yeah.
After he almost got it picked.
It was like, here's a practice one, so you can make sure you really do pick it on the second try.
Yes. Sorry, Kendall. Sorry. You didn't get that one here. Have another try, but this time don't fall and run in. Oh my gosh. And then that dude started out with the not even blocked punt. Like, the dude didn't even try to kick it.
Yeah.
Brian Anger. Well, he probably had some anger when he couldn't get that kick away. Because that started the snowball, dude.
Oh yeah. And Snowball only needed a little teeny little boop, and it started rolling down that hill. In burgundy and gold. And snow.
And snow.
And snow.
And then there was the punt that hit the Dallas dude in the face and bounced like 3 yards away to, I don't even remember who picked it up. Was it like Christian Holmes or someone?
I don't think it was Holmes. I think it was
It was. Because I'm looking at the stat line and it says Christian Holmes recovered 1 fumble.
Oh, okay. I was thinking it was Jeremy Reeves, since he's now an all-pro special teams player as well as a Pro Bowler.
Oh, dang. Way to go, Jeremy.
Yeah, all-pro. Cameron Curl is a second-team all-pro.
Oh, man, we so miss him.
But not so much that we lost this game. Ha!
No, we destroyed it. And Dallas, I saw this stuff after the game about Dallas fans complaining that it was fair catch interference on that muffed punt.
Who are they? You?
Dude, that wasn't even close to what I complained about.
That rule is that
No one touched him.
Existence. Yeah,
No,
that rule
no.
hasn't been in existence for a few years now.
First of all, and they were actually complaining about this, not the fact that their quarterback sucks and their running back sucks.
Sucks.
The only thing that's good on them is their defensive front
CeeDee Lamb's pretty good.
and CeeDee Lamb.
I wouldn't even give their defensive front that much credit because our offensive line is terrible. Like
Yep.
Trey Turner, I hope should have already put out like his notice saying he's retired.
We don't
Like,
even
he
know who's
shouldn't
on the
be out
offensive
there.
line. I don't even know. 18 Schweitzer brothers lined up somewhere.
There's a Chris Paul.
Chris Paul, who I heard Fred Smoot in the post game, and he's pretty high on Chris Paul. I didn't really
couple people
watch him
have said
enough
they
to
are.
know.
Yeah, seemed all right. I remember Schweitzer got hurt and went out. And I thought he went back in.
Roy Boy got hurt on defense.
Which one?
Ridgeway.
Micah Parsons. Oh, Ridgeway. Oh, yeah. It's so funny because you guys call him Roy Boy, and I'm just like, that dude is like, he's like, there's a really big spare tire right there in the middle. Bigger than almost every other football player there is. He's just heft, man.
We call him that because he suplexed that dude.
Because he suplexed that guy, yeah.
Dude, I looked at the injury report coming into this game, and I think we had something like 13 or 16 players on it compared to Dallas's like 2 or 3. Dallas playing for a possible division victory.
Right, yeah. If the Eagles had lost to the Giants, then it got close at the end of that game, even though they were in control. But the end of the game was close.
Oh yeah, I noticed that. I was sitting there like, I know they're putting this all over the scoreboard in Washington, the score of that game.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, let's talk about some bright spots into this game. People that stood out to you. Go. 2 people that stood out to you, just off the top of your head.
Oh, bada bing.
Yeah.
The people that stood out the most to me were Deron Payne at the beginning of the game, who had a sack. Did he? Or a tackle for a loss, my bad. Deron Payne, I mean, he's getting paid by somebody this offseason. Now, I don't know if we're going to, I don't know if we're gonna,
he's in.
He's going to go to whoever gives him the most money, but I think we may use the franchise tag on him.
Yeah. The more I think about this, I could be wrong, but I was all about signing Deron Payne, and then I heard his interview where it sounds like he's just all about money, and I just had flashes of Albert Haynesworth in my mind.
And
Like,
Davis Stubblefield before that.
Like, is he going to be one of these dudes that played pretty good, and then right before he doesn't get the contract extension, and then he plays awesome, and then he's going to go somewhere and get that big money and then just coast off like those guys?
That's what I'm afraid of too. I'm very skeptical of re-signing Deron Payne at this point, especially with the money. I mean, we're not paying Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz, I was surprised with you even at the game, but we're not paying him. So that's like what, 25, 30 million, somewhere in there.
Something like
But I
that.
think I don't want to give that money to Deron Payne. We can use that money elsewhere, like on the offensive freaking line.
Oh, we definitely need more offensive line. We need like an entire offensive line. And I was going to say, and linebacker,
Pretty much all 5 of them.
But dude, Khaleke Hudson stepped up in this game.
He did, yep.
Mayo still kind of
Khaleke.
sucks, but he played better.
Yeah.
Um,
Milo Eifler. Percy was in. Percy played a decent amount in there.
dude, I'm not spending any picks at all on defensive backs, and that's the first time I can say that in years. We've got so many young dudes that are playing really well, like Derek Forrest, dude,
Yeah.
and then Cam Curl when he gets healthy.
Oh, yeah. St. Juice. Jeremy Reeves, you know about him.
Yeah, St.
all
Juice,
pro now.
those 3 guys, those are like core dudes now.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, the offensive line though, oh man, it is makeshift, to say put it mildly.
Yeah, so that's something we're going to have to focus on in the draft, and I think we need to look at free agents. And people are criticizing Ron Rivera on this, the fact that he didn't try to bolster offensive line. I think he did try to, and no one would come here. I think that happens to our coaches a lot in the last 20 years.
They might, though, with a new owner, hopefully.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it might change around. I mean, I honestly am pretty, what's the word? Encouraged by this season. Because, I mean, if we wouldn't have put Wentz in last week against the Browns, I think we would have had a lot.
Cost us the playoffs.
I think we would have had a lot better chance of being in the playoffs right now.
Yeah, I agree. Instead, we are 8-1, and we have the 16th draft pick in the upcoming draft. We are the epitome of being middle of the road,
which means
We're
mediocre.
Right in the middle of everything. 8-1, 16th draft pick. You can't get anything more than that.
You can't get more mediocre.
Unless you go 0-17.
0-17. Let's see. We've got Aco in the chat room. Oh, there's my dogs. Let me mute. Hold on. Let me mute. Talk for a minute while I mute.
We got Aco in there. I know Shanny was in there earlier. We were starting to talk about who we're going to hire for offensive coordinator now that Norvell Jr. is gone forever. Thank goodness gracious. Oh my goodness. Is there anybody that's going to be like, oh, I thought he was pretty good? I don't think so. At all. But we were talking about
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought I was muted. Hold on, I'm going to yell. I'm going to lock those dogs up. Here, talk amongst yourself.
Who let your dogs out? Who sell the team? Well, I've got on those of you watching on, you can see my Fight for Old DC Washington Capitals on licensed merchandise. Fight for Old DC with Tom Wilson, who just came back to the team, beat the crap out of that dude from the Rangers. In any event, dog, shut up! Dog, shut up!
I'm back. Can you guys hear me? Okay. Who else is in here? 3-Pete is in there. Aco's in the chat room. That's it tonight? After a Dallas victory, we got 2 people in the chat room?
Is that it?
Man.
Let's see. Is Cole CC in there? It was earlier. A lot. I mean, people have been coming and going all day.
Oh, Chin's in there. Okay. That's because I stirred the pot this morning by saying source. Commanders to sell Dan Snyder to sell the team today, because that's what I predicted. Remember?
I do remember that.
People are like, what? What's the source? And then Kenny Ken's like, I think Aaron's the source. And then someone else came in there. I think it was Shanny, and was like, report. Sale is happening or something like that. And then they got people again on that. Chin and Nova Scotia.
We have a Discord room that is all Redskins / Washington football team / Commanders. And if you guys want to join that, if you like our podcast, check it out at tinyurl.com /HarryHF. HARRYHF. Very
good. You handled that well. You didn't even say, oh, I can't read it, it's too small. You memorized it.
I memorized it.
And what a day for Sonny Jurgensen.
Oh, man.
He hates Dallas as much as we do, dude.
He played for Philadelphia. He doubly hates Dallas.
He really hates Dallas. You should say Dan Snyder is dead in the water, because your predictions always come true. Dan Snyder is so dead in the water, dude. He doesn't stand a chance to make it through this offseason. I heard he wasn't even at the game against the Cowboys. Yeah. He's supposed to be a fan. Remember, like, he bought the team like, I've been a fan my whole life. And he's not even
sitting there like, is he sitting there in like his Mega Millions mansion where he cut down all those trees and got the park ranger fired that tried to get him in trouble for killing park trees
and causing landslides and stuff. Anyway,
yeah. And do you think he's sitting there in his mansion and the dude walks in and he hears like, you know, the Requiem from Mozart in the background? He comes in and he's like, am I a bad person?
He's got some cognac. Am I a bad person? That and a pair of testicles. What makes a man?
What makes a man? You can see Dan Snyder sitting there. He's like, Have I really been the bad guy all this time?
Yes!
Yeah, you have!
You suck! Oh my gosh.
He's not even a resident of the United States anymore. His thing, whatever it was, he said he lives in England now.
And
he's trying to get out of this country because he thinks he's going to get, like, in trouble.
No, dude. He's getting out of this country so he can buy a soccer team like those actors that bought the, what is it, Wrexham team. He wants to be like, I can do that. If those guys can buy a team and make it good, I can. And we're like, no, you buy a team and make it bad. That's the opposite.
Oh, anything he touches just turns to absolute crap. Everything. I'm telling you, it's like 6 months after the team is sold, which they'll sell like in the next few weeks, like the week before the Super Bowl, they're going to announce it.
End though I said it was today, I guess I was wrong unless they announce it. If they announce it in the next 4.5 hours, then I'm still right.
We end the podcast. It'll be on ESPN Source.
Oh, by the way, about this game,
I called it.
You did call it.
I said 27-21 in multiples of 9 in honor of Sonny Jurgensen, and I got to apologize. I didn't give our team enough credit. I ripped them off 1 point. Oh no, I gave them credit for more than 1 point, so I'm not apologizing for that. I thought they would do slightly better. Like, I thought that your dog, Joey Sly, would make at least one more extra point.
Joey Sly, cut! That's it.
Did you do a full 360 on this? Did you do a full 360?
I've done a full 360 on this one.
I've been saying it all year, and you've been defending him until this game.
I have, because kickers, I mean, you know.
He sucks!
I knew as soon as when he missed the first kick, I think he missed the first kick to the right. I don't remember, but whatever direction it was, I was like, he's going to miss the second kick. He's going to kick in the opposite direction. He's going to miss in that direction instead. And that's exactly what he did. And then that was the third one when he hit that.
Dude, you know what? I have a vision that you were sitting there knowing I was watching that game on my phone going, I know what Aaron's saying right now.
That's exactly what I was saying.
Because I couldn't be on Discord because I got my little phone and I put it on Do Not Disturb because I didn't want half the screen to be covered up with alerts every 2 seconds like, you know, Kenny Ken, like, oh, that sucked, and oh, I'm going to get a beer and stuff like that. So I turned it on Do Not Disturb, and then at one point, I was like, I gotta switch off of this app, and I went in there long enough just to go cut. Oh my goodness.
You know who else is cut? Scott.
Oh, let's talk about
Norvell Jr.
Did you see that? Did you see another pitch this week? That was the straw that broke the camel's back, in my opinion.
Oh, and dude. You're the first person by far that I knew who just hates to pitch so much. But there are so many people after this game that were on Twitter and on Reddit, both, who were just like, I hate the freaking pitch for that exact same play.
I mean, it's dumb. It's a dumb strategy. Throw the ball back 6 yards, let the defense figure out who has it, and then let them tackle you 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah. Yeah.
You were right when you said the only time that it ever works is if they do that, the defense hones in on it, and then they throw it down the field. It's like the only time it ever works.
Yeah, really.
But you know,
maybe we'll get to do that a little bit more next year with Logan Thomas back there, because he used to be a quarterback at Tech and everything. We'd have him do a little bit of those flea flickers or stuff like that if we don't cut him. That's another guy.
Is he a free agent? I think he's a free agent.
No, he signed a contract a couple years ago. Like I forget what it was, but he's one of the few people. Like we're not. I wasn't planning on talking about it yet, but we're gonna have some salary cap casualties like everybody else, and he might be one of them.
Dude.
But that also might be because our wide receiver, our tight ends, like we used to have a bad tight ends coach. He's like 100 years old.
Well, I think that we just didn't target him enough. Like our tight ends didn't seem to get enough action this year. Like they weren't involved as much. I don't know how to explain it. Like a few years ago, Logan Thomas was like one of our top targets, and this year, is it just because our receivers are better? So he's more like a normal tight end target? Or what's going on with that?
Well, I mean, some of the best tight ends, the best catching tight ends are basically targeted as a number one or a number two receiver.
Like Kittle.
In those kinds of offense. Yeah, Kittle. Or like Gronk was back in the day. And dude,
we've got, you know who else I'm impressed with? Really impressed in this game? Jahan Dotson. He dropped one, but did you see that move he put on number 31 when he caught the ball in the middle of the field and just posterized that dude? He was just like whoop. The guy didn't even get within 6 yards of him. I'm just going, who's number 31 on Dallas? Because I couldn't see who it was. He was so fast by him. I was just like, I was out on my phone in the middle of the show going. People are like looking back because it was an opera. It's like, oh, on the stage, and I'm like punching it. Anyway,
lip syncing to it.
Not lip syncing. I don't know the words. I don't know what's going on. Like the Discord on the actual podcast is like way delayed from what's coming on in the Discord room, which is why if you guys want to stay up to date on that in real time, you need to go to tinyurl.com/HarryHF and join the Discord room. It doesn't cost you a dime.
Redskins fans only, or Washington football team,
and no bots.
No bots.
Nightwing 19 has joined the chat room, so now people are starting to come in.
Well, so we got rid of Scott Norvell Jr.
Thank God.
So he's going to be gone. So who are we going to get to replace him? Like, is there anybody that you can think of? Because I know that there's a former head coach in Arizona who's pretty good offensive coordinator, even though he's not a very good coach.
Dude, I know who'd be perfect. I got two candidates. I know you like Cliff Klingenberry.
Klingenberry?
What's his name? Klinsberg. I know you like him. Cliff Klinsberg Klingenberry.
His name is my name too.
Cliff Klinsberg Klingenberry. His name is my name too. So he got fired for sucking too, though, didn't he? So I don't know much about offensive coordinators. So you tell me.
He and Kyler Murray did not get along at all. And when you've got a star quarterback like that, the star quarterback's going to usually win out. Oh my goodness, Chenadov's coach had just put in our chat room, Lovie Smith, the bearded wonder himself. He couldn't even leave the stadium before he got fired after that game. They were so mad that he won that game. He won that game on like the last play of the game and lost the number 1 draft pick.
Wait, the Bears won?
Is that who they were playing?
Oh, sorry. He's not the Bears. He's not even the Bears coach anymore.
He hasn't been the Bears coach for a few years.
Dude, sorry, man. It's hard for me to keep up. He's now
he
was the Texans coach.
He probably started to grow that beard when he got fired from Chicago, and it's been growing ever since. It's like, I don't know. He looks like he's in Duck Dynasty.
Now he's fired again.
I mean, that owner had to be so mad that he lost the number one draft pick at the end of the last game. Oh man!
And that's why he got fired for winning.
No, I knew he was going to get fired after the season, but he got fired before he even left the stadium because the owner was probably so pissed.
Dude, he's not going to be our next coach.
No.
But I know who will be. Oh, you said I'm clipping my mic. You're right. Why is it so? I just saw this. Let me turn my mic down. Is that better? Is that any better?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry about that, dudes. If I clip for the whole first 30 minutes.
I don't think you were clipping for the most. It was just at the very beginning.
Oh, okay. It was up in the red just now. I was getting excited. Here are my options for the next offensive coordinator. I've got two of them. One of them I can't remember his name, so I'm hoping you remember. But I think these guys would be good options. That dude that came out of retirement who was calling bingo games, and he came to be our offensive coordinator a few years back. What was his name?
Was it Bordeaux or something? No, it was somebody else.
Washington.
Man, I cannot remember that guy's name because he was there when Jim Zorn was there. Jim Zorn.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because he was my next candidate for offensive coordinator.
Dude, Jim Zorn's probably like on like a mount retreat in Tibet or something like that. He's just like,
dude, I think his name was Sherman Smith.
Maybe, yeah. Sounds like a bingo calling kind of name.
Yeah, it was Sherman Smith.
Sherman Smith.
But yeah, so I think it was Sherman Smith. So Sherman Smith, Jim Zorn, or Cliff Clingston.
What? Cliff Clingenberry.
Cliff Clingenberry. Which one? This is the thing that I think they should do in the interview. If I were there as the honorary fan interviewer for offensive coordinator, sir, may I please take one glance in your playbook? And I look in the playbook for something that involved a pitch, and if it's in there,
throw it out. Cut.
You're not coming here. Rip out the pitch page, dudes.
Yeah, really.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. I expect some of these other dudes to have opinions about who the next offensive coordinator should be.
And we'll focus more on that in the offseason.
We got all off season to talk about that.
And it actually, right, and I think this could be one of the, dare I say it, because we are champions of the off season. But it could be one heck of an off season this year.
It could be one of the most interesting off seasons in National Football League history for us.
Yeah.
Especially, I mean, think of all the things that are going to happen this year. New head coach, new offensive coach, new owner, new changing our team name again back to the Primes. We got to find a new quarterback probably,
but I think Howell. I mean, the last time we saw him, he was going up against third stringers in a preseason game.
Yeah.
And he was all right, but I mean, he sure wasn't Colt Brennan. So I like most people probably thought Howell was like worse than Colt Brennan. And Colt Brennan was never really sniffing starting job in the NFL. Yeah, rest in peace.
You want to know who Howell was reminding me of on those runs?
He looked like Heineke, except he's been like eating a bunch of cheeseburgers.
Yeah, he reminded me more of Josh Allen on those runs than Heineke.
Both of them, really.
He like bounces off people. Heineke kind of like moves when he gets hit. This guy bounces off people and lands down on the ground, where you're not afraid like he's going to get injured every single time he gets hit.
Right, because that's kind of the thing with Heineke. By the way, Heineke's 100% leaving this team. He's not coming back because wherever Scott Turner goes, he is going to follow him.
I was thinking that today. He did say in his interview that his first choice was going to be Washington, but
right.
His first choice is going to be where his buddy Scott Turner goes.
Or if someone decides to give him $5 or $6 million a year
Texans.
as a backup quarterback, or a starting quarterback. I have a feeling he might be somewhere. He's going to go somewhere, and he's probably going to be like in the thing, and he's just gonna. I don't know. It's always going to be really interesting when he's around.
Jen wants John Gruden as our OC.
I thought about John Gruden, dudes. I thought about John Gruden too. I was just like, John Gruden doesn't have a job right now. Is that someone you want to bring in? I'm kind of iffy on that one as well. But I mean, I don't know.
Doesn't he hate us for like exposing his emails, like our organization?
I think he hates Dan Snyder.
Well, it's going to open up so many doors to so many good people when Dan Snyder's gone.
So many people are going to come in and be like, well, I wasn't going to come here until Dan Snyder sold the team, but now.
I mean, actually think about it. I just thought about this. I'm saying Ron needs to be cut, this and that. But think of what he's been able to accomplish in spite of Dan. In spite of Dan ruining the team and all this whatnot. And then he actually, I think we've got a good base. I didn't think we were going to have a great quarterback coming into this season. Wentz was the only person that would come here. We couldn't get a high enough draft pick to get one of the top dudes, and everyone said the quarterback draft class was weak. And we still ended up with Howell, who in the 5th round, who still looks promising.
Yeah. It may have been really good for him to sit for most of the year and see what Heineke was doing, see what Wentz was doing, standing like a statue. And sometimes, especially after playing a little bit of preseason, and then he gets to sit there and observe stuff, sometimes that really helps people. Like it just helps them mentally to prepare for stuff like this. It really does.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say that Ron had written off this season because of the quarterback situation. I think he was hoping he would get better play out of Carson Wentz, knowing that was the best we could get at that point.
Right, yeah, and he really wanted to see. I mean, he really hoped that he would bolster the offense because it was, they weren't doing really well the last few games with Heineke, and instead it just. If we had a more stable team, that might have been when the owner just said, "Okay, you're going to get fired," but. We just got to wait for Jeff Bezos to get off his
big blue rocket.
Step off his big blue Origin rocket.
And
we'll launch a rocket from FedEx Field before we demolish it, all the way to the International Space Station.
I thought for sure we were going to hear about the sale today. I have been known to be wrong with my predictions every once in a while.
I think we'll hear about it. I think we'll hear something very interesting the week of the Super Bowl. Press week.
Yeah, we've got to steal the limelight from the people that are actually in the Super Bowl because we're the champions of the offseason.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely.
We might hear a commercial. Washington Prime's coming this season.
At Easton Motors.
And I saw some other news this week. Apparently, like, the Virginia lawmakers are now open to a stadium for the new owner. They said something about that.
Oh, yeah. I'm not surprised by that at all. We have a new owner here. It's going to be a knockdown, drag-out fight.
Yeah.
To get the stadium. Because, I mean, Maryland kind of pulled a coup by getting the stadium up there.
They need to hurry up, dude, because the contract's through 2027 at FedEx, and do we really want to play there longer than that? That stadium's a piece of crap.
Yeah, it's terrible. Probably still smells like Dallas.
Dude, when I went to the Colts game,
that were there.
when I went to the Colts game, I was just like, man, this stadium's like way better than ours, except for that it's inside. But then Josh said that the roof actually opens on it, and I was like, oh, well, that's kind of cool.
Oh yeah, huh?
But
it looks like a barn.
It's nice in there, dude. It's super nice.
Yeah, it looks like a humongous farm. Like you expect a blimp to fly out of it, but it looks like it looks like you expect in Indiana.
Because they have that one inn that's open.
Yeah.
The fact that we were able to park in a parking garage and pouring down rain and walk all the way into the stadium without ever leaving under roof is pretty nice.
Oh God! Just thinking about all this crap you have to go through here.
It sucks, dude.
It does suck.
It sucks so bad. Anyway, the things are about to change, dudes. Things are about to change. And let's talk about the defense a little bit.
Yeah.
Not only in this game where I got to give Jack Del Rio credit. He had a good game plan in this. I mean, what can I say? We shut down the run, and then the defensive backs were all over every single pass.
They really were. I mean, losing William Jackson III, who incidentally is costing us $9 million next year, by cutting him, it was 100% addition by subtraction.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's how the defense all gelled together, was getting rid of that guy.
He just sucked. There's so many young dudes that I'm excited about on that. I mean, I've already said it, I know, but let's look at the defense. I heard this on Al Gaudy today. We finished 9th overall total defense. And guess what we were on third down defense?
We were
1.
First, man.
Number 1 on third down defense. After last year, we could never get off the field.
After the last few years, we did never get off the field. We were awful on third downs. Those are the plays like where they would send a tight end, go like 12 yards right down on a post pattern, right down the middle, and no one would ever tackle him. Like, I don't even know how many years.
And this was without
tight ends that we never have.
This is without Chase Young. This was without Cole Holcomb most of the year. Chase Young actually played pretty well in those last few games where he came back.
I think so too.
He was getting some pressure. I think he almost got a sack in this game. It was like he caused the sack, but then was it Bada Bing that actually ended up with it? It's like him and Sweat were converging on Dak, making that Dak sandwich that we talked about last week. And then Bada Bing got to put the finishing touches on it.
Bada Bing.
It was like a Dak, Montez Sweat, Chase Young, Bada Bing.
It was Obada, not Bada. It was Obada Bing.
He put the Obada like zing on it.
F it, Obada.
Yeah, well, anyway, we finished 9 overall, number 1 on third down, if I remember correctly, and then I don't know, I forgot all the rest of them, but all of them I think were in the top 10 except for one stat where we were 11th.
That's not bad at all.
No.
And I know we played a lot. It wasn't a lot easier schedule this year, but it was an easier schedule than last year. That may have had something to do with it.
Dude, how many games did we play against people that made the playoffs this year is the question. The Jags ended up winning their division.
The Jags got in. Jags got in. Detroit just missed. Philly, Dallas. Green Bay fell out. Haha.
Giants. So that's 6 of our games just in our division.
Minnesota.
So are you saying 10 of our games?
San Francisco.
Yeah. Like the majority of our games were against teams that are in the playoffs.
The only teams not in the playoffs are Cleveland, Atlanta, Houston, not the first draft pick, Indianapolis, Chicago.
Which were all wins except for Cleveland.
Yeah. Tennessee we lost to, but that was a close game as well.
Oh, yeah.
Man, Carson Wentz sucked.
Dude, everyone told us. The Colts fans told us. The Eagles fans told us. I didn't expect him to suck this. I didn't expect him to suck this bad, and I didn't expect Dak to suck that bad either.
Yeah, really.
All right, CJack17's in the chat room. Let's see what they're talking about in here. Three-peat's listing a whole bunch of dudes that are possible offensive coordinators. Frank Reich,
Yeah.
Nathaniel
Frank
Hackett,
Reich.
Mike Sullivan.
Oh, well, Nathaniel Hackett never should have been the head coach in Denver at all. But as a coordinator, yeah.
Mike Sullivan, Joe Brady, Drew Petzing. Let's see. CJack17 has his offseason wish list or checklist. Is he going to say
Scott
something
Shermer.
about Mayo on there?
Check.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't have anything about Mayo. Okay, let's see. Fire Scott Turner, check. Cut Carson Wentz. Nope. Prepare Hal to start. Let Heineke walk. Sign a vet QB backup. Draft
Cheaply.
a left tackle in the
Left
first
tackle in
round.
the first round.
Leno to right
Yeah.
tackle. Cosme to right guard. Cornerback in the second. What's the deal with Rollier? Because when he was healthy, he was a good center.
I guess we'll find out next year to see how healthy is it going to be. Is he always going to be injured? Because so far this is the second year in a row he's been injured.
Yeah. I think people have mixed feelings about Heineke walking. No one wants to pay him $8 million. I'm pretty sure, or whatever he's going to get.
Someone is, but we're not.
No, I'm saying on our team.
Oh, yeah, and I mean he really is. His career has been following Scott Turner through the NFL, so he's going to go where he goes. I really think so.
And if he does want to give us a hometown discount, like he wants to stay with Ron or whatever, I'd bring him back as a backup.
Yeah, I would too. I was just laughing because I remember in his interview after the game, he had like some skull tobacco right up in here, and he's talking like all the reporters. You can see the little black thing down here, like as he's talking about it. And I was just like, "What's up, 1970s?"
I know. What is that? I thought there was
Man,
some rule they put in like the early 80s, like you can't show off any tobacco on TV because the kids. Like I thought that was like a FTC rule or something.
Apparently, Heineke's allowed to get away with stuff like that, like drinking on the plane.
I mean, I honestly wouldn't mind if he was back because he seems like a good team dude and everyone loves him.
Yeah,
as a backup guy, but Heineke is not going to give that much of a hometown discount. This dude came off the couch and now he has a chance to make $8 million. He's going to go do it, and so would I. I would do it.
Someone's going to sign him. Someone's going to give him a lot of money.
Yeah. And I don't blame him. Payne,
yeah.
I don't know. I kind of have a bad feeling about signing Payne to a big deal.
Dude,
especially when I heard that interview.
Way.
When I heard that interview.
Yeah.
And
I mean, you summed it up, man. You were just like, it could be another Albert Haynesworth situation. It could be another Dane Stubblefield situation. They get paid, they show up, and then they suck because they don't care.
There's a lot of dudes like that. Think about how many of those Payne type dudes we've gotten from other teams.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I think that's money we can spend in other places. Now that the rain cloud of Dan Snyder's finally going to start lifting away from the Washington football team, so people are going to start looking at it again. We're not going to get the bottom. We're not going to get, we're not going to get Jim Zorn as a freaking head coach anymore. It's going to be great.
Yeah. Now, some guys in the chat room are disagreeing with us. They want to use the Wentz money,
right,
to sign Payne. Okay.
That's absolutely that's not a bad way to do it. To use the Wentz money because it's like 25-30 million. You could spend it on Payne instead and on other people. I think we should let Payne walk, and that we should use that money on other positions like the entire offensive line.
Yeah. Because we're also going to need some of that money in a year or so to sign Sweat and Chase Young.
Right.
And I know you're going to say that Daron Payne has been producing more than Chase Young. I know, but
yeah,
I just the way he handled himself in the interviews and how he was like kind of good up until this year. I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I just get a I've got a bad feeling about that, about re-signing him.
I do, but we'll see what happens.
We will see what happens. It could be fantastic, or it could be Dana Stubblefield.
And I also saw today some other news that I'm sure piqued your interest because you love this dude. We re-signed Trap.
Did we really? We re-signed him?
Yes!
Wait, whoa. We just re-signed him and he appeared in the last game because I saw
He was in there.
he was in there. I saw him a couple times. I saw beforehand because I that would have really made me mad if I saw him and I wasn't prepared in advance to see him.
And I wasn't prepared. I didn't prepare.
What is he doing? Where did that guy come from?
I didn't prepare myself. Commander's signings. I think we signed him to a future contract. I'm not even sure what that means. Maybe someone can explain it to me.
It's basically sign on, but he's not. He's with us, but it's basically welcome preseason.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we signed Troy Apke, DeMarcus Fields, William Bradley Kingsmith, Williams Kingsmith, Alex Erickson. He had a pretty good preseason. Remember that little dude?
And then he got cut, but we brought him back for like 1 or 2 games.
Kyrick McGowan, Jake Fromm,
State Farm,
GS Nolan. What's GS? Nolan Laufenberg and Kiefer Sutherland.
Laufenberg. Yeah.
Kiefer Sutherland. Oh, Keaton
Where?
Sutherland. His name's Keaton Sutherland.
Keaton Sutherland.
I'm calling him Kiefer Sutherland.
Kiefer Sutherland.
It's easier to
To
say.
reserve future contracts, yeah.
And Aaron Montiero, I remember him.
Yeah.
Kiefer Sutherland. It's easier to say and easier to understand.
And dudes, we don't forget, and you guys saw him during the games. We were commenting on it. Aking Bulu and Benning Potato.
That dude played pretty good, man.
He did. Poto Ae, I think is how his name is pronounced.
That guy was rocking the middle in there.
Yeah.
Zeke had no chance. Zeke sucks so bad, dude. He's horrible. Remember when they signed him and I was like, yes, good.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
More often than not, those long-term quarterback or long-term running back deals are not good for the team.
Yeah, here's a question for the Peanut Gallery. I asked you this before the podcast. Who do you guys think, this is called Who Had the Most Rushing Yards? Who had the most rushing yards amongst these players in Sunday's football game? Would it be Tony Pollard or Sam Howell?
Tony Pollard or Samuel Howell III?
Tony Pollard or Sam Howell? It's going once, going twice. C-Jack is typing his answer. And he's taking Sam for 400. And he'd be right, dude. Sam Howell had 5 carries for 35 yards. And Tony Pollard had 7 carries, only 2 more, for 19 yards with a long of 5. Sam Howell had a long of 10. So that money, that 400.
And a touchdown.
And a touchdown. That money goes to C-Jack, 17 for 400. I've got one more question for you. Who had a longer run in this game? No, not even a longer run. Who had a better yards per carry average in this game? John's dog, Ezekiel Elliott, or some chap named Reggie Bonifon, and he's on the Commanders if you didn't know. Who's it going to be? Better rushing average. Better rushing average. Anyone? C-Jack and Shanny are typing. Let's see who wins it. Play the music, dude. That little. Shanny's going with Reggie Bonner something. And C-Jack, I think they're typing in Chin. They have 5 seconds to get their answer in.
We should have the Jeopardy theme on here.
He has no idea. I'm just typing to participate. And C-Jack says, I don't know. Okay. You guys do the math on this. Ezekiel Elliott had 8 carries for 10 yards. What is that, John? 8 divided by 10.
8 divided by 10 is what?
Or is it 10 divided by 8? 10 divided by 8. Figure it out.
10 divided by 8?
Yeah.
1.25?
Okay, and then Reggie Bonifon, 8 divided by 3. That's 2 something. He wins.
Yeah. Ezekiel, it says 1.3, but I think it really is 1.25, and they rounded it up because you round up at the 5.
You round up for Dallas. So Ezekiel had 1.25 yards per carry, and some dude that we didn't even know was on the team, not making the millions that Zeke's getting paid.
Yep.
Was 3 carries for 8 yards with a long of 5. All right, you guys are pretty good at this. Zeke hasn't been anything great for. Zeke has always sucked. I've always thought he sucked. He was good at running straight ahead and running into people, and then that was it. And then I guess his body just took a lot of damage over the years, and now he's so bad now that he wears like some glass over his eyes so you can't even see his face. He's like ashamed.
Or he doesn't want to have opposing teammates like Poto Ae seeing what direction he's looking like he's going to go in.
Maybe
I'm gonna run to the left.
But
That's what I always think when I see running backs with those shields.
You know what I was glad about in this game? I didn't have to see him do that dumb like I'm eating like cereal thing when he gets the first down. I hate that.
You hate that. It's on every single college game on Saturdays from Air Force to Alabama.
I hate it.
Oh man, that's so funny.
Well, I hate it when Zeke does it. How about that?
Yeah. Well, that's
against us.
Have you ever seen against us? Have you ever seen anyone do the cereal bowl celebration before Zeke? Do you remember seeing it before Zeke?
No.
Okay.
I don't remember much of anything. I definitely wouldn't remember that. I'm pretty sure Zeke wasn't ever in a Super Bowl, though.
No, he was not.
I'm pretty sure of that. Oh,
I'm 100%
back to Sonny Jurgensen Day. Back to Sonny Jurgensen.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Sonny Jurgensen. It was going to be a terrible day for him. They're not even playing the Eagles. It's the end of the year. We're putting in some rookie 5th rounder as the quarterback. Terrible day to be there. And we kicked their butts.
In honor of Sonny. And he got his number
retired. In honor of
Sonny. He got his flag raised.
He did.
And at the last minute, after all the fans pointed it out, they apparently invited Frank Herzog. Because they forgot.
What?
How do you forget to invite Frank Herzog to Sonny Jurgensen's number retirement? How? How does that happen?
How does that actually happen? I had not heard that.
Yeah, it was in the chat room. You need to pay attention more often.
I guess I just missed
it.
They
didn't. They were like, he didn't get invited, is what someone said. And then at the last minute, he got invited and was like up in the booth with them.
Man.
I was like, could they have at least let him call the game and gotten whoever does it now out of there? But I would have listened. I would have turned in. If they said Frank's going to call this game, would you have tuned in?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I would have been there. I totally. If they would have said Frank and Sonny are going to call this game, I wouldn't even have watched on my phone. I would have been like, just give me the radio for old time's sake, and it would have been awesome. I would have savored every second of that. I would have lapped it up like Ezekiel Elliott. Lap it up, dude. All right, what are these dudes talking about? They're talking about cap space. Apparently, we have about 17.5 million right now. Doesn't include the 26 from cutting Wentz. Well, that's a lot.
that's a lot right there.
26 plus 17. The last time I checked, that's 36.
Now, don't forget, we're losing $9 million to William Jackson III.
Oh,
for
so
not
we're
playing
down
here. And who else?
so we're down to
losing
30.
money for someone else that we cut. Oh, we're paying Landon Collins like $4 or $5 million next year.
Oh, great. We need to franchise Deron Payne, and then if someone
think that's probably
signs
it,
him,
yeah.
don't. If someone can match it, and then
We get 2 first-round picks.
that's what we need to happen. I want 2
Yeah,
first-round
that's-
picks.
Yeah, if we can do that, to get those first 2-round picks, we get that team's next 2-round picks, basically, or whatever they are, like next first-round picks.
I want those. 2 biggest cap savings would be Kendall Fuller,
Yeah,
8.5, and Charles Leno, 8. Charles Leno is $8 million. Unfortunately, I don't think we can cut Charles Leno because he's one of our only decent offensive linemen.
and he's decent. He's not
He's
even
decent.
great.
He plays at least.
Yeah, he plays every game.
He's decent.
He's definitely he let a lot of people run by him in this the last really 4, 5, 6 games of the season.
Yeah.
Like a lot of times you're seeing the ends run around Leno and whoever it was on the other side as well. Any of the guys that were on the right side. But yeah, it was a lot more this year, especially in the last 4 to 6 games or so, than it was last season, for sure.
We just need all offensive linemen.
We need a lot of offensive linemen. We need dudes that can mesh and be good together.
All right, dude. I just was looking over at the stat lines again. Another player that we haven't mentioned was my dog, Jarrett Patterson, had a great game.
We brought him in to return kicks, but he didn't run as a running back. For that, we brought in Reggie Bonifant.
Jarrett Patterson ran as a running back? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Most of the game.
He and Jonathan Williams split.
Yeah, and then Reggie Bonifant just came in garbage time against Cooper Rush. and outran Ezekiel Elliott in those few fleeting moments.
Jared Patterson and Jonathan Williams both had good games, but we've seen them before in preseason last couple of seasons. So,
dude, we're stacked at running back.
We really kind of are.
And also, this goes to prove to Dallas, and you don't spend that much on a running back, dudes. They're not that hard to get. Good ones. Just get them.
Unless you've got Derrick Henry or like a one of the best running backs, like a top 3 guy.
Yeah.
Don't break your bank on signing running backs, and people have still been getting themselves.
Plus, what's the average length of time a running back spends in the league? They take a lot of damage. Like 5 years? Is it even that high?
I don't know.
Like by the time they get off their rookie contract, they're usually broken down. So, and then remember the dumbest move that we ever made was trading Champ Bailey for
and a second round draft pick, or a second round draft pick for Clinton Portis.
Maybe
I
it's
like
not
Clinton Portis. I'm glad he was on the team and everything like that, but Champ Bailey's in the Hall of Fame, and we gave him the second round. Yet another reason.
Remember when we saw that trade? We're like, okay, so we get Clinton Portis and a second round pick for Champ. Okay, it's not that bad. And then you were like, no, dude, we're giving a second round.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I was like,
no.
What?
It's just ridiculous. So many stupid.
I see the light at the end of the tunnel.
People.
I see the light. I see the light at the end of the tunnel. I'm reminded of all this crap that's happened to us because everyone's hated Dan Snyder all these years, like that BS collusion against us to like take away our cap money, which set us back 2 seasons. And
oh yeah, that spelled the end of the Shanahan era with us.
We've had so much crap happen. Quarterbacks that get broken.
Terrible stuff. God, man.
Anyway, do we need to do our games and kicks? Because this podcast is getting pretty long.
Yeah, let's knock them out real quick.
Hold
It's
on.
the last one of the year.
Hold on, though. Hold on. Speaking of, let me find this. Of Frank Herzog. I wanted to play something in honor of him. Talk amongst yourself while I find it, though. I gotta find it. Okay, hold on. I got it. I wanted to play this in honor of Frank Herzog.
Yes, still goes. 50,000 people screaming, "We want Dallas."
We want Dallas. We want Dallas. Good old Frank.
Awesome.
It always gives me chills to hear that sound.
Yeah,
soundbite.
absolutely.
Y'all remember Portis' first run for the Skins?
It was like, did he get a touchdown on that very first run? And
Yeah,
then
he said he did.
Score a touchdown on like a long run for the rest of the year. I think.
I like Portis.
Shanahan-
I liked his
Shanahan was
like
great.
his characters and things. Like that shirt that
Oh,
said
yeah,
"off
with
the
his
grid is
wings
off the
and
chain."
glasses. Clinton Portis is just funny.
I like Portis. I just don't think it was a good trade.
It was terrible, awful. But don't forget, there's a rumor that was kind of also facilitated by Champ Bailey's wife, who was like, "You're getting traded, or we're divorcing."
Oh, really? Because she probably
Yeah.
hated Dan Snyder.
No, she hated all the women he was sleeping with on the side in the DC area.
I don't need to get into all
Rumor.
that.
That's a rumor. That's a rumor. That's what I hear.
Let me bring up something that I'm sure that Chin in Nova Scotia has forgotten to point out so far. His dog, David Mayo, had 7 tackles in this game, 2 of them solos. That's not too shabby.
He had not his worst game of the season, I thought.
Benning Pototo, though. Whew. That guy.
Hey.
He had a tackle for loss. Deron Payne is not credited with the tackle for loss, like you said earlier.
He's not.
So he had 2 tackles. Same as Chase Young. Same as Montez. We only had 1 sack in this game, dude. And it was Efe Obata on that one where he cleaned up the Montez Sweat Young sandwich. He can still eat a bag of ding. I'm not saying that. That sounds inappropriate. Okay. Oh, we didn't say. If you haven't noticed from watching our podcast, the subtext on this, very discreetly placed on the screen, says that Dallas sucks on it all week. Because Jerry Jones, when asked
quote
about
from
this
Jerry
game, said, "We are going to suck on it all week." Take that how you will.
Take that for what you would like it to be.
Jerry Jones and his son.
Norv
right.
Turner.
Cut! I'm so glad that Norv Jr. is gone. It's like the first. Like, who was
Lips
it?
of hope. It's a ray of light.
He's so bad. It's so. Oh. Do you think maybe he was cut because Ron was like, dude, you've been telling me for 8 weeks that Hal wasn't ready. And then we finally put him in, and he actually looks pretty decent to me, dude.
Yeah. It makes me wonder. If that was the straw that broke the camel's back on that one.
Well, I kind of think that Norv Jr. knew he was cut before that last game anyway, because he had some comment indicating as such before the game.
Well.
Like, I don't know what's going to happen, but I just show up and do my job, whatever, something like that. Anyway, all right, let's get to the games and kicks.
When you hear that, you know the end is nigh.
All right, so we won this game, so we have to give kicks first. It's like a reverse psychology thing. Anyway.
It's time for this week's Kicking the Balls Award.
Whoops.
Dallas sucks.
Look at this.
Like the
Look at this
hotel.
effect that I'm putting in here.
Like the hotel blinking sign in the middle of the night.
All right. Okay, here we go with the Kick in the Balls award. You can go first on this, John. You're going to be surprised by
Joey
mine.
Sly. Cut!
Oh, wow. You didn't even take mine, believe it or not.
It's time for competition. It's time for that competition. Or maybe spending like a 7th round pick on the kicker or something like that.
I mean, we spent a 6th round pick on a long snapper. We could spend a 7th on a kicker. Just saying.
Freaking long snapper.
Dude, I got to say this about our team. Our team consistently knows how to find a good long snapper. We had the red snapper. We had Cheese Man.
There was that guy in between.
Who
Red
was he?
snapper and then
Why am I forgetting the other dude? Because we
I know
loved
who
him.
you're talking about, but I can't remember his name.
Me either. We loved him too. But anyway, all right. So yeah, that's a good one. Joey Sly single-footedly cost us at least 7 points in this game,
Yeah.
and
I knew he was going to miss that second one in the opposite direction because he was so close on that first one, on the first missed field goal. And I was like, he's gonna go in the opposite direction too much. I know it.
so those 7 points would have put us at 33-6, right?
Yeah. Another retired Redskins number.
And that looks like even more of a domination than what it was. 33-6 is like a complete whooping.
Well, we'll see this weekend because they're playing Tampa Bay.
Oh, Sean,
In Tampa Bay.
dude, Sean the 6th. Your team, if they do not put Dallas out of the playoffs after this, you got to come back home. You prodigal son, you. Seriously. All right. I've never given this person a kick in the balls award before, and I hope I never do. But I expect more from this guy, being that I've already dubbed him as Art Monk 2.0. Terry McLaurin is getting my kick in the balls award for dropping that pass across the middle that was right to him. You're getting it. I expect more from you, dude. I see that look on your face that you don't agree with me, but I can't call someone Art Monk 2.0 and then he drops a pass that easy. We needed it. It was 3rd down.
Yeah. Yep.
I was like, even the announcers were like, Terry McLaurin on the no, he didn't catch that.
Yeah, and Dotson, he made up for it later on. But all right.
All right, who's getting the kicks in here?
I mean, it's not as bad as Josh kicking Sean Taylor, but
That was a legitimate reason to kick someone that you call Art Monk 2.0.
yeah,
Or I could strip that title from him. One of the two. Do you want to keep the title or do you want to get the kick for the week? It's up to you, dude. He also gets a kick for throwing Sam Howell's first touchdown pass ball up in the stands. Did you hear about that?
I heard about that. I was just like, oh man.
And then apparently Dan Snyder wasn't so cheap that they actually went and like probably gave him a jersey or something to get the ball back for Sam Howell.
I think they only gave him a signed ball.
That was it? Well, it's Sam Howell. It wasn't like someone's 700th home run or anything.
True. Yeah, that is true. It's not. Dude, we're not talking about butt fumble here.
And then on his rushing touchdown, did you see who ran and picked it up? It was Terry McLaurin. Like as soon as he like spiked it, Terry McLaurin ran and picked it up and took it back to the sideline for him. But anyway. All right. So let's see who's giving their kicks in here.
Yeah, I remember that drop by him, and I was just like, man. I remember a few plays before that going in the opposite direction that a guy from Dallas got rung up a little bit on almost the exact same kind of play. And I think that play was in his mind. He was like, I'm not getting rung up at the last game of the season. Whether that's good or bad or whatever, I don't know.
Dotson. Shanny's giving his to Dotson for dropping the bomb. Yeah, Dotson had a drop or two, but he also posterized that dude.
Yeah,
so
he made up for it. Don't forget, Terry McLaurin also had a TD.
I know. CJack 17. No one's getting their kick. Chan is giving his to David Mayo for having nothing less than 7 tackles. Okay.
51.
All right, I think that's it. So let's go ahead and go into the.
And now, the coveted and ever elusive Game Ball Award.
Game Ball Award is brought to you by our friends at Dick's Pitch. Oh, how's this going to work? Oh, that's just messed up. Dick's Pitch makes it stick.
Dick's Pitch sucks.
Dick's Pitch makes it stick
Sucks.
on it. Makes it stick on it all week. Jerry Jarrett's and his son. All right, so the Game Ball brought to you by Dick's Pitch. Do I get to go first? I'm going.
What? Yes, go ahead.
I'm giving mine to Terry McLaurin for catching that bomb and for catching the first touchdown pass of Sam Howell's career on Sam Howell's first NFL pass of his career.
That's right.
So Terry McLaurin's getting mine, and for just being an awesome dude, and I'm so glad we extended him, unlike Deron Payne.
Yeah.
Okay. So go ahead, dude.
Oh, man. I could pick out somebody like Milo Eifler, who had the tackle.
Wait.
I could pick out somebody like Troy Apke, who was on the field at some point.
You're giving your game.
I could give it to Benning Potato. Poto Ae, I think. I think it's Poto Ae.
You could give it to Reggie Bonifant.
I could go to Reggie Bonifant for making the field just like Troy Apke.
And
but no, my game ball goes to Sam Howell. We may have found our new quarterback. Maybe.
It's going to be worth
Maybe.
watching next year, I can tell you that.
He's the best looking quarterback I saw in this season on the Washington football team.
Yeah. Yep.
So I don't know, man.
Mm-hmm.
So I go with Sam Howell, man, all the way.
Okay, that's a good one. I can't.
His stats weren't like great. He only completed 11 passes, relied on the run, ran a touchdown himself.
Had a couple good runs when he needed them.
Had good field position. That helps. I get it. But he looked more comfortable playing back there than Wentz or Heineke at all.
Yep.
So,
good one.
So we'll have to see. It's going to be a whole offseason of this kind of crap, especially if we sign a veteran, which we may or may not do. Who knows? I think we should at least draft one quarterback somewhere in the draft. Sam Howell, maybe.
Yep. Yeah, he was great. I was impressed. I especially liked, except for that throw into triple coverage, everything else, the rest of the game looked good. I mean, his throws were that long ball, like he perfectly placed 2 long balls, if not 3. Yeah. Didn't McLaurin almost get a second bomb, and then Dotson dropped one? I think. But
I know that his last year at UNC, he lost most of the talent around him, and he had to run a lot, and he had to improvise, and that's what we saw this last weekend, was seeing him do something some stuff like that. We got to see him run. Because he does actually like push people over instead of like bounce off like Heineke does.
Yeah.
And I mean, he looked comfortable. He looked comfortable.
And he's
He did not
undefeated
look
against
like Garrett
Dallas.
Gilbert Grape or Butt Fumble or anybody like that. I mean, he looked miles better than those guys.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, he looked great. I mean, I'm excited to see what he can do. All right, let's see what the Peanut Gallery is giving out. Chinna, Nova Scotia's game ball goes to David Mayo. No, Brian Anger, who set up the sweet touchdown pass at the beginning of the game. Yeah, that dude.
How about that? Yeah, thanks, dude.
That's his game ball because it set the tone for the entire game.
Yeah. All right.
Is that it? No one else is giving one? Okay. Oh, wait. Three-peat gives his to Fuller and Howell. Shanny gives his to Jarrett Patterson. That was a good one because he stepped in.
Yeah. He did.
Kind of like next man up. Let's run the ball.
Like I said, the fact that he and what's his name? The other guy, the other running back we had, Jonathan Williams. The fact that those guys, Bonifant. The fact that those guys have been like in preseason for a couple years now.
Mm-hmm.
It's with the same offense and everything like that.
Yeah.
But now we know we're gonna have a different offense. That's for sure.
Yep. Anyway, I think we need to round this thing out. It's been over an hour and 15 minutes. Oh my gosh. And we have so much to talk about in the off season. I don't want to, go any deeper into this.
Yeah. So C-Jack, did you mention him? His stuff on here?
He texted some
Howell.
Dallas fans, y'all's punter must be angry after that muffed up punt. Anyway.
Fuller and Howell, 3-peat.
It's okay. Don't read my kicks or game ball. C-Jack. Okay, sorry. Where is it? Sam Howell. C-Jack gave his to Sam Howell. I don't know where his kicks are. C-Jack gives his kicks to... Oh my gosh, dude. I'm looking for it. Oh, Joey Sly. Yeah. So you basically copied John on everything. Okay, cool.
Smart. Very smart.
They missed my kick too. Oh my gosh, dude. You guys sound like Dallas fans whining about that past punt interference thing. Let's see what this is.
Kicker interference, punter interference, fair catch interference.
3-peat is giving his kick to Ron for playing Wentz last week, making this game mean nothing. Okay.
That's a good one. Thanks, Ron. Mediocre Ron. He's not Riverboat Ron, man. He's mediocre Ron.
And then 3-peat gives his game ball to Fuller and Howell. Okay. I think I got it. I think we got it now. I think we got it all in here. Okay. Now we're rounding this thing out, and we'll talk to you guys next week.
Shanny says we need to draft a thicker kicker out of Mizzou.
He's always
a hoss, man. It looks like an offensive lineman.
I thought he said that last season. Is he still saying that?
He's 254 pounds. He's massive. All right.
All right. I'd like to give a shout out to everybody that joined us in the Discord room this week. CJack17, Shanny, 3-peat, Chinna, Nova Scotia.
What else do we have in there?
Aco was in here earlier.
Aco, Chris Comerton
earlier.
Bunch of people.
A bunch of people.
Up in there. Up in there. Up in there.
I think that's about it.
Up in there.
Join us in our Discord room,
Nice.
tinyurl.com/HarryHF. You can reach us on the hog line, like 202-735-1788, and leave us a message. Send us an email, hhfpodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah.
I think that rounds it out. We'll talk to you guys next week. Hail to the Redskins. And if you see a Cowboys fan,
You know what to do. Gioca!
I hate Dallas, dude. I hate